Hello, fellow classmates. My name is Stephen Kirks. I go by Steve. Steve is fine. And welcome to class. I'm excited to be here, and I look forward to what the future modules may bring. It's certainly been an interesting first week. I watched the videos. I read the article, and it was definitely interesting. I must say the introduction did catch me. It did get my attention, and I'll talk about that a little bit. As far as where I am right now, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm a conservative on some things as far as women are concerned, and I'm liberal on other things. And may not even necessarily make sense, but I'm not on one side of the fence or the other. It just depends on what the particular issue is. Sometimes I think some of my views can be described as chauvinistic or maybe out of touch. Uh, it is what it is. My opinion is what it is, and I'll be honest, it's anecdotal, and by that I mean it's just based on my life experience. It's not based on any surveys or studies or statistics. It's just based on my experience and what I've learned over my 54 years. I'm a little bit older than the average college student, and I've seen a lot of things and been through a lot of experiences. And so I've sort of kind of made up my mind about how things work. And as far as the battle of the sexes, which appears to be what a lot of this week was about, you know, I kind of lean more toward the traditional uh, point of view, which can seem chauvinistic, but at the same time, I consider myself a feminist. I believe in women's equality, equality for women, equality for everybody. Just based on you being a human being, based on your merits, based on what you achieve. I don't think that gender should be a barrier to anything. Just like I don't think race or religion should be a barrier to anything. I just think that as human beings, we should receive what we earn without impediment. Now, having said that, I did take the worldview test, and what it said was that I have postmodern views. Sounds good to me. I'll take it. But and I'm kind of surprised because I thought I would fall in somewhere in the traditional category because that's how I think of myself as traditional. Even though, as I said, I'm really open minded and left leaning on a lot of things. So I was surprised at that. But two things that stuck out to me was that it said it was my social lens, your sensitivity to injustice and giving voice to marginalized people are powerful gifts. I was kind of surprised at that. I'm like, I feel that way, but I'm kind of surprised that the study picked up on that. I do have a lot of sensitivity for injustice, and I do believe marginalized people need a voice, have a right to a voice, and should exercise their voice. And I'm a big supporter of that. I did protests back in the day and all that good stuff. So I'm surprised the study caught that. And then the other thing that stuck out to me was it spoke about my sensitivity to other suffering and and my commitment to inclusion and emancipation, whatever all that means. The part I got out of it was sensitivity to other suffering, and I am a very empathetic person. I'm a human being, and I care about other people and their suffering. I care about what happens to other people. If something bad happens to someone I care about, or even if someone I don't, I do care about what happens to them. And if something bad happens, I feel that. I can internalize their pain and hope and pray that they get through it and they come out stronger, wiser, better prepared for the next tragedy life may bring. Um, when it comes to the article, yes, the introduction definitely got my attention, and I started diving into it. And I found the topic disturbing. As a male, I don't understand. I don't understand sexual assault. I don't. My mind doesn't work that way. I don't necessarily understand it, but I know that it happens for a reason, and I think that that's what we need to look at is why does it happen? And that's kind of what I got out of the article is, these patriarchal views of how men dismiss women in their voice, and no matter what voice they have, it doesn't seem to do anything but further victimize them. I thought that was painful to read in many ways, and as a male, it's just shameful to me that this type of behavior not only goes on here in the United States but goes on worldwide. I mean, and then she goes into the massacres that happened, and oh my God, it's riveting. That's the word I'm going to use. Riveting. It was riveting reading, and it went from one uh, extraordinary thing to the next. I think what I'm going to say is that the introduction struck me as good, and as I said, it definitely caught my attention. But further on in the article, she talks about being sexually assaulted by being in a club, wearing a halter top and jeans, and on a sweaty dance floor in some nightclub. And she says somebody, grabs her backside, and she responded by chasing the person down, sitting on them, and beating him up, beating him into a bloody pulp. In my opinion, that's a bit overkill. I mean, you just admitted to an assault, and for a hand to touch a person's backside in a sweaty nightclub on a dance floor, in my past experience, is not that uncommon. It certainly doesn't really rise to the level of deserving a beatdown, in my opinion. I mean, now, overt grabs and gropes when they're not wanted, or solicited, wanted, or reciprocated. That's another thing. But I don't know that that rose, what she described or the way she described it rose to the level of deserving a beatdown. As far as the my chosen video, it was nice finally for a video about men's rights to pop up. I never even knew there was such a thing. I never knew that there was such a thing as men's rights. Who knew? I mean, I'm an African American male, as you can see, so I'm very much aware of discrimination and all of the things, racism and all that. Been through all that. Too many stories to tell. But I never really knew that worldwide there was something about men's rights, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was necessary. You guys don't have rights. Who the hell does? So I didn't really I really just found that video the most interesting for that reason. And basically it was about allegedly some poor guy. He's supposedly sexually assaulted his estranged wife, and that it's really not true. She's only doing it to gain custody of the children, of the child. I can't remember if it was a child or children, but in any event, using it as a custody type of leverage. And he feels victimized, and he feels like the system is not going to protect him because there's just no support for men who are in this position. And that kind of reminds me of here in the United States. I have plenty of friends and people I know where they, want to be in their children's lives, and they pay child support, but they can't see the child, or they have to always drama, issues with this, issues with that. When one moves on, the other one feels some type of, it's just all type of mess that comes with, trying to do something like that. So I really found that interesting as far as that article goes. But the quote that stuck out to me from that video was, I don't know if it was a lawyer, but she says, just because the law gets abused doesn't mean it shouldn't be there. And as I was saying earlier, The laws in the United States don't seem to favor men when it comes to custody battles and divorce and all of that, which makes me think that because of the way things are now, roles are getting reversed, and it's nobody stays married because now they don't have to, and so it's probably going to become obsolete, and that's what that portion of that video made me feel like. Okay, boy, we're getting to a time where marriage and the old union won't look anything like it did in the past, which, okay, evolution is, in my opinion, is necessary for human growth. So I think I've said enough. Once again, it's a pleasure meeting everybody. I look forward to our future vlogs, and getting to know everyone. And you all be safe.